Have you ever reached a point in life where every path seems blocked? When you pray for change, but silently doubt that anything will ever improve? What if the answer you've been seeking doesn't come from miracles, but from one brave action rooted in real belief? Tonight, let me tell you a story that could change how you approach every challenge. A story you'll carry with you, not just as hope, but as a guide for action. In the quiet valleys of Cedarbrook, a small village nestled among rolling hills and silver birch forests, the edge of autumn surrendered to the promise of winter. The villagers' lives were woven with simplicity. Days filled with the crisp scent of pine, evenings cloaked in the smoke of wood fires, and mornings heralded by the distant calls of blue jays. Among them lived Owen, a schoolteacher in his mid-30s, known for his calm demeanor and gentle wisdom. His wife, Emily, was a herbalist who cultivated healing plants by the riverbank. Their world was not adorned with luxury, yet every stone and every stream was dear to them. But this year, something was different. The winter frost arrived early. Streams froze before their time. The main well drew less water each day, and the crops that should have stored the villagers through winter had failed, victims of an unexpected dry spell. Though the community was close-knit, anxiety grew like a shadow over the village streets. Owen saw the quiet desperation growing with each passing evening. Children shivering before the wood stoves, men whispering of moving away, mothers rationing flour for the youngest. One night, as silvery frost crept across the window, Owen listened to the wind and felt the weight of the village's hopes press upon his heart. He gathered the townsfolk in the village hall next morning. Breath frosted in the air as he spoke. "I know many of us are losing hope, but winter only feels endless until the first thaw. What if, instead of waiting for help to find us, we become the ones to lead change?" Emily, ever practical, suggested, "Let's try conserving every drop of water, and perhaps I can teach families to make better use of what food we have." But Owen's mind wandered further. That evening, as families finished their prayers and prepared for another cold night, Owen did something unexpected. He set out to the old stone bridge, carrying a spade and a lantern. The river had dropped, but he remembered stories of hidden springs that once fed the valley during harsh winters. Alone, with numb fingers and breath like smoke, he began to dig, guided by nothing but faith in the stories passed down through generations. As midnight approached and fatigue threatened to claim him, Owen hit something different. Damp earth, not frozen. Water began to seep into the trough he had shaped. It was not much at first, but it was proof that the river still lived beneath the crust, just waiting for hands willing to search. He hurried back to the village. By dawn, he rallied the others. "There is still water, hidden but flowing. If we work together, we can reach it." Doubt flashed in their eyes, but Owen's confidence stirred something long forgotten in their hearts. The villagers brought candles, shovels, and blankets. For 2 days and nights, men and women, old and young, toiled beneath the pale sun and shivering stars. Hands grew blistered, but their spirits kindled with every muddy trickle. Children who once trembled in the cold now laughed, passing buckets in a chain. Old Mrs. Wiggins, who hadn't left her cottage in months, arrived with hot broth for the workers. Laughter and stories returned to the air, defying the bite of impending winter. And at last, the spring revealed itself fully. A clear, pure stream bursting forth from the earth just as snowflakes began to drift, dusting shoulders and hair alike. The village rejoiced, not for a miracle that came on its own, but for the belief that inspired them to act, to seek, and to persevere when it would have been easier to give up. That night, as families gathered in humble cottages warmed by both fire and victory, Owen addressed them once more. Belief is not a matter of waiting for the world to change for you. It is a decision to show up, to dig one more inch, to trust that your actions, no matter how small, can create the difference you seek. Years later, Cedarbrook would tell this story at winter's edge. Not just of a teacher who found a spring, but of a village that discovered the power of believing, acting, and hoping together. The river would freeze and thaw 1,000 times more, but the lesson endured. Challenges can only defeat those who surrender their belief. In adversity, belief is more than wishful thinking. It is the courage to act even when success seems impossible. True hope flourishes where people come together and put hands to work, not just in prayer. Real transformation begins not with perfect circumstances, but with steadfast hearts. Actions rooted in belief inspire others to find strength, even when all else appears lost. Every setback is an invitation, not to retreat, but to believe deeper, try harder, and care more. If this story moved you, if you've ever faced a winter of the soul and wondered where to find strength, remember Cedarbrook. Start believing in your next step, take action with faith, and share this message with those who need it most. For more powerful stories and life-changing lessons that touch both the heart and the mind, subscribe to Kai's Mindset Mastery. Each story is a spark. Let's kindle that fire within together.